Good morning, this is Holly with Holly's Joys, and I am out and about town here with my husband, and so I thought I'd do a quick video while he's inside. And I'm going to take the second point from Jerry Weiss's video, 9 Things I Wish I Knew 60 Years Ago. And these are such great things. I wish I knew them too. But I'm beginning to really walk in them and live them now. So better late than never, right? And I'm going to talk about the number 2, which is don't try to change others, or don't change others. Change yourself and your emotional location, which I have never heard it worded that way, and I love that. Others will then change or adapt to the new you. So they will come to your emotional location or adjust to it. I don't know. So we'll see. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about this situation with this person who is angry with me right now, and what my experience having grown up with a narcissistic parent, and I don't know that she was diagnosed narcissist, my mom, but she was certainly struggling with mental illness. And also, I have all of the symptoms as an adult of a narcissistic parent or parental abuse. So, going from that angle, and that's what Jerry Weiss talks about. These are the things that he wishes he knew, having been raised in a toxic family environment. And I do think that I definitely was raised in a toxic family environment. So anyway, before I started to work on myself, well, I've always worked on myself, but before I was healed enough to even consider some of this stuff, this is how my typical response would be. Somebody would get mad at me, and I would absolutely do everything in my complete power to make them happy again. No matter what sacrifice I had to make of myself, or to my family, or whatever, I would absolutely throw myself under the nearest bus, eat tons and tons of crow pie, whatever it took to make them at least pretend that they weren't angry at me anymore. And I mean, it was like an internal compulsion I could not control. I had to do it, or it was all consuming. It was like in my head, in my mind, in my dreams, and on and on. And until I could, I don't know, fully apologize or fully change myself, or, throw myself under the bus, whatever, then I could not be okay. I felt like I was not okay. So I also tried to change others, especially my children, to make me feel good. And I think this is what's happening to me right now with this person who's angry at me and thinks I've done something, I don't know, reprehensible and criminal, or whatever's the beef. I don't really understand it. So we're not going to get into it specifically, just because I don't want to hurt that person. And my heart is to reconcile. So I'm changing my emotional location about it, because it doesn't feel good when somebody's upset with you or angry or think you've done something and you're the worst person or whatever. They name call and they badger and they criticize and whatever. But I am going to stay true to myself. I know me. This person doesn't know me. I've never even formally met this person. It's so funny how people get onto something and they just really can't let go. This has been ongoing for months. So I'm gonna really work on changing my emotional location about it. So, spiritually speaking, what would that entail? First off, I gotta forgive myself for having, I don't know, even touched on this in the first place. I got to forgive her. I have forgiven her for having this disproportionate emotional outburst, lengthy, ongoing outburst, threatening and whatnotting. And I'm going to live my life happy. And I know my intentions. I know what I did wasn't really nothing. So, and if it's upsetting her, that is hers to deal with her emotions. Now, changing your emotional location, I think, comes with practice. At least I'm finding that it has for me. And it's really nice because I've been practicing this sort of idea for a while, not specifically for this situation, but as a general rule, because I do want to live a happy and peaceful life, and I want to be a part of the law of one, which I believe everything is connected, and what's good for me is good for you, and if I'm happy, then it spills over positivity into the world. And I just feel better when I excuse me, when I practice this sort of a spiritual idea. It makes me feel better about myself. I feel better about life. I feel better about just everything. So if you struggle with people pleasing and excuse me, and this attempting to change other people like I did for my kids, oh, if they would behave this way, then I would be happy, you know. That's not real happiness, though. People need to find that happiness inside themselves, and that's what I needed to do. I needed to find happiness within myself, to be able to self-soothe, excuse me, take domain over my emotions, and to practice love. That's what I want to do. I want to practice love. Like if I could write down the kind of person that I want to be, I would write down that I want to be the person who practice forgiveness, love, generosity, the spirit of oneness, the spirit of happiness and joy. Now, girl, I don't always do that, and this situation has really pushed me to, it started in October, I believe, and at that time, I really battled myself, not like full on, you know, combating, verbal, texting, argument. And I didn't. My husband was like, don't respond. And I took that time to sit in meditation and to really listen for what the Spirit, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, what they wanted me to do. And I really am happy that I did that. It was really beneficial to me. And I've been able to, then it's come back up around. It went on for a few weeks, and then it kind of was quiet over the holidays, and now it's back. So this time I had a very different response, which has been nice. So there's growth there. You can get a hold of yourself. I'm a very impassioned kind of person, and the way I was raised, my mother thought it was fun to make fun of people, so I'm good at it. Don't want to exercise that part of who I am, but I can, and I can be very cutting with my tongue, and I don't want to. That's out of fear or anxiety. That is not out of love and compassion and this connected feel that I really feel growth and positivity and happiness and joy when I'm connected to that. So this time it started out, when she started out really hard, I didn't feel the same urge to jump in there, and I felt kind of like sad for her, and it hurt my heart that this is where she's living her life, and it is sad. So anyway, I'm waiting to see how this all pans out, and I really don't know how it's going to go, but I feel better. And I mean, that's all I can control, is what I do, how I think. My dominion is my thought life. It is my feelings. It is me. And so do not try to change others, was what Jerry Wise said. And change yourself and your emotional location. So I'm changing myself and my emotional location, and it's fantastic. So I'm testifying to you today. Do that and you will feel a lot better. So I'll keep you updated. Go ahead and subscribe to Holly's Joys and like, share, follow, do all the things. And then go to Patio Pet if you want to see the art that I create and just fun things that I mess around with. And I do paintings and whatnot. Anyway, go check out Patio Pet on Facebook and follow. And we'll see you next time. And I hope you have a great day changing your emotional location, because I know we all have somebody who's trying to push those buttons. And we'll see you next time. Bye.